I ask unanimous consent that the Senate resume legislative session, and the only remaining amendments in order to H.R. 82 be the following: Paul, 3346, Paul, 3352, Cruz, 3360, and Crapo, 3331. That there be 60 affirmative vote threshold for the adoption of the amendments, that upon disposition of the Crapo amendment, Senator Lee be recognized to make a budget point of order, that upon disposition of the point of order, the pending amendments and motion be withdrawn, H.R. 82 be considered read a third time, and the Senate vote on passage of the bill, with 60 affirmative votes required for passage.
Is there objection? Without objection.
I have very good news for my colleagues and for the country. Democrats and Republicans have just reached an agreement that will allow us to pass the CR tonight before the midnight deadline.
On this vote, the yeas are 3, the nays are 93. The 60-vote threshold having not been achieved, the amendment is not agreed to.
Came close. My colleagues, Mr. President,
the majority leader.
Want to finish at a reasonable hour.
The Senate will come to order. The Senate will come to order. On this vote, the yeas are 28, the nays are 67. The 60-vote threshold having not been achieved, the amendment is not agreed to.
Members, stay in your seats. Let's get this done quick.
On this vote, the yeas are 32, the nays are 64. The 60-vote threshold having not been achieved, the amendment is not agreed to.
Madam President.
On this vote, the yeas are 34, the nays are 62. The 60-vote threshold having not been achieved, the amendment is not agreed to.
I don't know. The big money for.
Mr. Rubio, Mr. Sanders, Mr. Schatz, Mr. Schiff, Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Schumer, Mr. Scott of Florida.
On this vote, the yeas are 66, the nays are 30. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn having voted in the affirmative. The motion is agreed to, and the point of order fails. Under the previous order, the motion to commit and all pending amendments are withdrawn. The bill is considered read a third time, and the question occurs on passage of the bill.
Mr. Tillis, Mr. Tuberville, Mr. Van Hollen, Mr. Vance.
On this vote, the yeas are 76, the nays are 20. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
Madam President. Madam President, can we have some order, please?
Yes.
So tonight, the Senate finally corrects a 50-year mistake by passing the Social Security Fairness Act. Millions of retired teachers and firefighters and letter carriers and state and local workers have waited decades for this moment. No longer will public retirees see their hard-earned Social Security benefits robbed from them thanks to this bill. After a chaotic few days in the House, it's good news that the bipartisan approach in the end prevailed. It's a good lesson for next year. Both sides have to work together. But by dealing with people who've had trouble with disasters, by helping our farmers, avoiding harmful cuts, this is a good bill, and I'm glad we're passing it. I thank my Republican colleagues for working with us to move this bill quickly through the Senate. It's a good outcome for America and the American people. I yield the floor.